All right, everyone, the House Democrats are trying to weaponize the FBI to perpetually headhunt after alt-tech sites, and I'm going to tell you what's happening here. In the wake of this last election, the MSM has taken a huge hit. Nobody trusts them anymore, literally, and this is mainstream polling, so even take that with a grain of salt. Apparently only 46% of people think the media is telling the truth and doesn't manipulate everything constantly. That's a falling number, by the way. That's partially a reflection of the fact that Fox News has completely cucked. Anyway, and shit, I'm not even a conservative, but let's, call them out what they are. What's happened is that the MSM and big tech are losing right now. They're not doing these sorts of things because they think that they're in a good position. The MSM doesn't attempt to destroy independent content creators like you've seen in the last few days. Oh my god, we gotta stop. There are YouTubers with as many people as daytime CNN slots. We gotta do something about this. Would they be doing that if they felt confident that they and of themselves could take care of the problem and continue to exist and thrive and grow? No, because they're not existing, thriving, and growing. They're just existing. That's the problem. When big tech headhunts after Parler, or Gab, or Minds, or BitChute, or Odyssey, or whatever, they're not doing it because they feel happy, because they feel empowered. You don't throw your weight around if you truly feel like the situation is nominal. If you feel like you're doing well and there's no problem, you want the status quo. There's no problem. Don't fix what's not broke. These people are intelligent. They know this. They're trying to fix the problem because it is broke. Big tech has alienated enormous numbers of people, literally tens of millions of people, and they're filtering into alt-tech sites. So what they're going to do now, over the next years, while they have the legislative capability, and by the way, I am optimistic they will fail, but this is what they will attempt, and the alt-tech firms and independent creators attendant need to steel themselves for this eventuality. Here is what will happen over the next 2 years, and then probably be throttled back considerably. A combination of big tech, craptivists, and US intel is going to attempt to use perpetual litigation and harassment tactics against alt-tech. What will happen is, for instance, Parler sets up its servers in Russia because Amazon has deplatformed it. They don't have a choice. So what does the MSM do? Very helpfully, on behalf of Parler's competitor, its main competitor Twitter, they say, oh, they're hosted on Russian servers. We should probably look if there's any foreign ties by the people that are big on that platform. We need the FBI to look into it. Now, of course, the real story is you've deplatformed them and made it clear that any US firm is going to be perpetually pressured to cut them loose. But Russia doesn't have that problem. Is Russia a free speech loving libertarian regime? No. Fucking Putin hates free speech just as much as anyone in Silicon Valley. But he doesn't have a problem with the kind of free speech that the average Parler user is going to be using, because they don't have a problem with Vladimir Putin. U.S. Firms have literally pushed the situation into existence, where BitChute is arguably the dominant anti-YouTube video hosting platform and is based in the UK with a CEO who lives in Thailand. Why has this happened? It's because of misdeeds by U.S. tech firms, abusing people who have broken no law. They are not terrorists. They are not terrible people. In fact, it's very funny when they say, well, there's terroristic content on those sites. We need to go after them. When has anyone live streamed a mass shooting on Gab? When has anyone put child porn on Minds? Twitter is getting sued right now for hosting CP. Okay? Twitter, not Gab, not Parler. YouTube has had all sorts of problems. Remember ElsaGate? Did BitChute ever have an ElsaGate? No, never existed. Do people live stream their own suicides on Odyssey or on Rumble? No, they do it on Facebook. Do people post and groom people on Instagram, or did they do that mainly on alt-tech? They do it on Instagram. These problems are mainline tech, but they own the Senate. They own the House. They donate billions per year through slush funds to congressional re-election campaigns and gubernatorial campaigns, especially in California, the most crooked and corrupt state in the union. Well, Florida still exists for a while, so till it sinks back into the mire, the world will be better off when that happens. By the way, I just wish California would follow suit. Just saying. I've been to Florida. Not a nice place overall. Some good thing. You have Cuban bread sandwiches. You can also get them in an Albert Heijn. They're actually pretty good. Just saying. That being said, the situation is this. You're going to see differential enforcement. Rules for thee, not for me. Alt-tech will be held, despite the fact that they're actually conforming to the concept of 230 in the purest sense, they'll be the ones that are treated like they're publishers. the platforms that act like publishers will be treated like platforms. So if Twitter decides to literally ignore CP that's been duly reported for weeks and months at a time, and not just one example of it, as I reported yesterday, you can't sue them. There's Section 230 exists. But if somebody posts something terroristic on Parler, oh my God, Parler needs to be held to account for this content, even if they removed it 10 minutes later. There will be a different standard applied. We see this with creators. Even internally on big tech sites, we see this double standard. There are 3 sets of rules on YouTube. Did you know this? There's a set of rules for the most of you who aren't partners. You don't have 10,000 subs. You don't have enough views and stuff. That's like 99.9% of the site. There's a second set of rules for like the non-coach class YouTubers like myself who at least have partnership. We're given a little bit of deference and treated a little bit less poorly. And then you have the priority creators, a few tens of thousands of largely corporate channels, and a handful of very, very big creators who are under direct contract through Google. And that's priority. They get deference, we get tolerated, most of you get fucked in the ass. Alt tech doesn't do this. That's why more and more people are using it. They are gobbling up market share. This is why big tech and the MSM, which has bet everything on big tech and made no overtures to go to alt tech, this is why they're attacking them. They're using their lackeys among the House Democrats to try to weaponize the FBI as part of their continuing billionaires coup, to try to headhunt after sites who have done nothing wrong and who have 230 protections, but they will not be treated like they do because they don't own a senator. This is why my suggestion is that every independent creator and independent site, all of alt tech, even those that compete with one another, should form a loose confederation, stand and defend one another against this bullshit. Because you got 2 years of it at least to get through. And possibly more. If you think that the House Republicans are free speech warriors, well, you don't understand anything about how Congress works. God bless you for being naive. That's about all. Peace out.